This is Jack Donovan, author of The Way of Men, and you're listening to Start the World.
All right, I'm here today with Andy Redbeard.
Andy Redbeard.
Andy Redbeard, is that what we're calling
I need to change that Instagram hash. I've had that shit since I was like in high school. It's kind of retarded now that you say it out loud.
Okay, all right. Do you want to go?
Yeah, just Andy, we'll just go with Andy Lewis. There you go.
Andy Lewis. All right, Andy Lewis. We're here with Andy Lewis. I've known Andy for a few years. He is the head of Norse Fitness. He has his own gym, the Norse Compound. And to be honest, years ago, someone pointed him out. A mutual friend pointed him out, and I'm like, Norse Fitness. What even is that? You know, like he's just putting a name on a shirt. What does that even mean? You know, right. And then over the years, he started commissioning good artwork, and really creating culture and putting it out there based on his own vision. And he's built a whole brand about it, and it's really taken off in a lot of ways. And when you talk about creating culture, I mean that's how it happened in the old days. If you look at all these great paintings that everybody harkens back to, it's some dude commissioning an artist to
create his vision, right?
So it can inspire people.
Yeah.
And so that's what you're doing. So that's really cool.
Yeah, that's literally all it's ever been. So I come up with an idea, and there's people way more talented at graphic design and art than I am. So I'm like, I'll find someone that kind of matches the vision that I have. And almost every time I have the idea, I give it to them and I get it back. I'm like, cool, it's exactly what I had in my head. So yeah, it just works out. I work with like 5 or so different artists now, depending on which, I guess, style I want for it.
Right. Awesome. So tell me how you got started. How did this all happen for you?
So I used to be in a band I spent the early part of my 20s, like 18 to 24, just touring nonstop, playing like, I guess, the darker hardcore, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Just underground type shit. But I was miserable, like absolutely miserable. The band was an outlet for depression, but then every night I was just pretty much unleashing all that and reminding myself of all this fucked up shit in my head every single night. And then I was just drinking all the time and living out of a van and sleeping on floors, and it just got really bad mentally. And I started working out around the age of 24 as just kind of an outlet. Like, it's pretty much like, I'm going to fucking kill myself, or I need to find something else to do. So I started working out, and I just felt like a completely different person, just like confident, powerful. I wasn't, focused on all the negative shit in my life. I was just thinking more positive, and I just kind of I got obsessed with it. But I was living in Panama City, Florida at the time. That's where I'm from. And everyone there is just like complete jerk offs, like no one there was actually serious about lifting weights. They wanted to get like a little bro pump and then go out to the club and get laid. And that was literally the main focus, pretty much Jersey Shore, but in Florida, like spiky hair, just
right.
Yeah, bad. I couldn't associate myself with any of those people, So the idea behind Norse was like, all right, well, I have this thing that I'm passionate about. I want to do something with it. I want to surround myself with like-minded individuals that's going to help me improve, but they don't exist here. So I was like, well, kind of the same thing that we're going to get into at the gym, I'm sure. If I can't find them, I'm just going to create it. And so I had a recording interface, and I traded that recording interface for the first 25 Norse tank tops. That dude definitely got a better deal out of it. Probably cost him like $25 for the tank tops. But I didn't really give a shit. Like, I was done with that point in my life, and I had this vision for something else. So I was selling that out of the trunk of my car, and those actually went pretty quickly. And it's pretty much just exactly what I said. Like, I wanted to kind of create a different community in the lifting world in Panama City. So there's a few people that I was friends with. They wanted to get into lifting as well. So, pretty much Norse was a way to separate us from all these other people that we hated.
Right.
Behind a different idea, a different image and all that stuff. Yeah, it just kind of went off from there. I was honestly selling tank tops and shit on my car for like a year. It wasn't really anything. It was just like, yeah, you hate these people. Well, here's a tank top, and so just grew from there. And then about a year later, I was stuck in a snowstorm in Minnesota at my sister's house. And I was like, you know what? Like, I just want to see what I can do with this thing. So it just kind of blew up from there. And yeah, now it is what it is, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, how did you, I mean, because you don't have a background in business, right?
No, zero. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, because that's a big difference. I mean, because obviously yeah, we're both on Instagram and whatever you see. I mean, all these
Right.
business coaches, and they're guys who have been doing business all their life,
Yeah.
you know. But you and I have both, like, oh, I guess I have a business now. I have to figure out how to do
Yeah.
this.
I figure out how to do this. Right.
Yeah, yeah. So tell me a little bit about that. I mean, how did what did putting one foot in the other in front of the other look like, and what
I think, you hear some people talk about it and it could be full of shit or whatever, but I've always been like that, man. Like whenever it comes to, I remember being 6 years old and me and my dad, we went to go tear apart my bike, repaint it, put it back together. And the whole time that my dad was pretty much doing all the work to put this bike back together, because I didn't really give a fuck about it, I was thinking about how I was going to start collecting other bikes in the neighborhood, fix them up and sell them to kids, or even if it was like, I don't know, at school, I had like side hustles my entire life in school. I would get something like, I think I sold condoms at one point, like I stole condoms from Walmart and I was like selling them to fucking kids in 7th grade. It was like, really like, now that I think about it, I've always had like a side hustle. Like I remember at one point I stole Pokemon cards and I was selling those to fucking kids at school. And it was just, actually, I guess I just stole a lot of shit and resold it in middle school. But yeah, so it's just always clicked for me. And even when it came to my band that I was talking about, it was never like, oh, we're just gonna play some shows here and there. I had a vision, like I wanted to tour, I wanted to see the country, I wanted to meet people, I wanted to play. And I just figured out how to start booking shows. Actually, when I was 14, I went to my first like hardcore show and I came home that night and I told my dad I was gonna start a production company, and he was like, yeah, okay, whatever. And then 4 months later, I booked a show and I had like 5 bands on it. And I was 14 doing that.
Right.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. It just always kind of came naturally to me. And I've always been super interested in it. Not the finance part. I don't really give a shit about any of that. But when it comes to marketing in particular, so like with the production company booking shows and stuff, it was the marketing aspect that really stood out to me. Even if it was just hanging out flyers, I used to go to the mall and just hang out. I'm like, especially back then, I was a very extrovert, I guess. But for some reason, when it comes to business, I can snap into someone else. And, I'd walk up to everybody and hand them flyers for these shows. And just any method I could think of to get people to these concerts, I would do it. And with Norse, it's kind of the same thing, man. It just all clicked. Like it was never something in the back of my head just knows what to do.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
So I mean, you start out with tank tops out of the back of a truck or whatever, and then obviously it built up into a much bigger brand.
Yeah. So like I said, we had that one tank top. I posted that online, and they sold pretty quickly. And I was like, all right, well, I'll do 2 more, and I did 2 more shirts, and they sold out pretty quickly. And I just kept commissioning more artwork, and then all of a sudden we were making knee sleeves and wrist wraps, and then the gym happened, and none of that was, I didn't really care about any of that in the beginning. And honestly, still, it's an aspect of it, but the artwork itself is, like I said, it's a creation of like a vision that I have. And the community aspect is always what stands out to me. Like I want to surround myself with like-minded people. That has always been the core behind Norse. And even now that Norse is like an international brand, my customers still associate with that. It's not just a brand. It's not just some clothing that they wear. They identify themselves with that with other people. So at the underlying, I guess, the basis of it is always the community aspect.
Yeah, I mean that's what brands, do in a certain way. I mean, people can hate on that or whatever, but it's I'll get people who like, hey, I saw some dude wearing a Violence's Golden patch at the range, and I know he knows what's up, and so like he goes,
Yeah.
It gives an icebreaker,
Right. So it automatically tells you, okay, me and this person are on the same page. Me and this person are probably going to get along. Otherwise, like it's that individuality, like it would be a lot harder to, I guess, associate with people without those little things. And I guess those have always been in cultures throughout history.
Yeah, you need some it's some kind of cue, basically, out of the crowd. This person has, liked the same things that I've liked.
Yeah,
So,
it's the same with like band t-shirts and shit, man. It's like you see someone wearing a metal shirt, you're like, me and this dude's probably going to get along. Sometimes they suck, whatever. But
yeah,
the fact that you guys like the same band and most people have never heard of that band, say it was like black metal or something.
right.
Yeah, it's a cue. It's an icebreaker right off the bat. Yeah, and then
Yes.
brands, I think now, especially in 2020 with social media and everything else, the time of faceless corporations are done. Like, that's no one gives a shit about that. They want to see who's running the brand. They want to be a part of something larger. And because of social media, they're allowed to do that.
Yeah.
They're allowed to be a part of something without it having to be like in their little small town or something like that.
Right. And the good thing about fitness, any kind of fitness marketing, is that it's aspirational.
Yeah.
And that's, that's one of the best things about, that's one of the things about marketing is that, people don't really think about it that much, but it usually has to be aspirational. Like, I want to be more like this.
Well, that's, especially in fitness, it's, you either have the bikini model or you got the dude with like a six pack because that's where everyone wants to be. So
right.
they use those people for that exact reason, and even when it comes to marketing, say like with the gym, I don't use the heavy hitters and stuff because that's such a small percentage. And I used to, and I quickly realized like, well, there's a lot of people that could benefit from this place, but they're not going to come here because they don't relate with the dude that's deadlifting 800 pounds. So then all of a sudden I started using just more of your like average type person, and our membership skyrocketed because those people identify with that person. They don't identify with the dude with the six pack that's deadlifting 800 pounds. And I think we've seen a switch in that as well because, back in the early days of like just bodybuilding magazines, that's all there was. We didn't know any difference.
Right.
But now we have the opportunity to put different faces out there. And it's like, yeah, they're going to relate to that particular person that they actually have a potential to look like or to act like or something like that. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So, that's interesting to me because I didn't ever really think of it that way. Cause like, I stopped posting workout shit like ages ago. Cause I'm like, no one cares what I lift. It's my stuff is, I'm stronger than 90% of the population, but like, right. I'm like, who cares? But because I was plugged in that mindset of like, well, there's the guy lifting 800. Just go watch him.
That's the thing is, I think we've gotten to a point where because of social media and there's more outlets available, we've gotten to a point where it's like, that shit's unrealistic a lot. Like, and honestly it is, these people like Jay Cutler and stuff like that. I think most people realize now it's like, I'm probably not going to fucking look like Jay Cutler, but they can look at, since we just said you, like they can look at you and be like, okay, like Jack's in good shape, Jack's strong, but it's nothing like extreme. Yeah. It's a reasonable goal that I can get to. So you inspire more people by doing that than say just some really jacked dude that, they're like, yeah, I'm never going to get there. And if anything, that discourages people now because they see this extremely jacked dude and they're like, I'm never going to get there. So what's the fucking point? Because that's that victim mentality shit.
Yeah, that's true.
If someone has, but you kind of lower that standard and it's more reachable. So if anything, I think that's actually helping people, they're just kind of getting them out of their shell and it's allowing them to work towards something that before they would have just never fucking done because they're like, there's absolutely no way I'm going to do that, which is kind of a bitch mindset. If we're going to be real, you should aspire to be like, if you see Jay Cutler or I don't know, any of those old school bodybuilders, you should be like, fuck yeah, like I want to get to that. But most people, they can't, like they can't get their head to that level.
Well, that's a professional. That's a professional. And that's, I'm sure you've hung out with some of those guys and I've hung out with some of those guys and like the level of like detail that goes into that. And that's their whole life,
dude. Yeah. They don't work. They don't have girlfriends. Like they don't have a social life at all. It's literally eat, train, sleep. And they do that every day for years, and it's just not practical for most people, including myself,
and or desirable. Really? No. Like, you don't want to, I don't want to do that. I could, like.
Well, there's other aspects of life that you want to pursue.
Yeah, we have other things to do. And so you don't have to feel, people always get confused about that. I'm like, well, you don't have to feel bad because you're not that guy, because if you acknowledge that you're not willing to make the trade-offs to be that guy.
That's okay.
I also want to do X, Y, and Z, not just that,
Yeah. And for some people that works for them, but it's the same with me, man. Like, working out, it's an outlet, but at this point in my life, it's the same as eating or sleeping or anything at all. It's just something I do. You know, I'm still passionate about it. I still want to continue to improve, but it's not like I don't want it to consume my entire life. But for some people, that's all they need.
Right.
You know?
And especially like if you're a trainer for a living, then that makes sense. You know, like that's
Yeah.
that's your job then, and it makes sense.
Right.
But you know, we're not all trainers, so like we don't all have to do that.
Yeah, thank God.
But I mean, you were doing powerlifting for a long time, and then like now you've like lost a bunch of weight, and you like look like a different person. You know, which is inspiring in its own way, right?
I started getting into power when I started lifting. It kind of goes back to Panama City, and I wanted to be completely different from everyone that I saw there.
Yeah.
There was absolutely no powerlifting in Panama City, but I started reading like Jim Windler. I just started I spent like 2 years just nerding out nonstop about lifting weights, you know, reading everything I get my hands on. And Jim Windler always stood out to me just because it kind of goes back to I could relate to Jim Windler. You know, we listened to the same type of music. The dude seemed a little more aggressive. And with powerlifting, especially in my early 20s, I was very aggressive. So like a lot of bodybuilders are kind of, you know, they're in Panama City, they just had spiky hair and like bro pumps, and they weren't serious about it. You know, you didn't have a lot of just like really jacked dudes. But in powerlifting, it was just straight aggression and all that good stuff. And I could relate to that. Right. So I started powerlifting, and I'm looking back, I don't know if I ever enjoyed powerlifting. I think I was more into the culture of powerlifting than anything else. So fast forward a few years, and I opened up Norse Compound, and it was a specifically powerlifting gym because there were no powerlifting gyms in the area. And that's, like I said, it's the culture again, the aggressive culture. You know, you walk into Norse Compound 24 hours a day, there's metal, there's like black metal playing, and we have people that deadlift 800, 850 pounds, whatever. Everyone's like screaming at each other at certain times and stuff like that. So the powerlifting culture, like I wanted that. But then to be honest with you, within 3 months of owning a powerlifting gym, I stopped powerlifting. Like it's not, but it's also, I kind of realized, and this has nothing against powerlifting at all. So hopefully none of your listeners like take offense to it. No. I realized the culture that I had in my head wasn't a reality anymore. Like I had this, you know, the videos of like West Side, and, you know, I said that aggression, that's not really the powerlifting world anymore. It's, you know, I'm going to do 3 reps of something. I'm going to sit down for 20 minutes and eat some gummy bears, get on Instagram, get up, do 3 more reps. And I was like, this isn't really, and in my gym, like we do have some, like, it does get more aggressive and stuff. But at the same time, you know, we were getting just a lot of people in there that, like I said, it's kind of like the idea of powerlifting that I had in my head didn't match up with the reality. But also I just got real with myself. I don't fucking like just doing 1 to 2 reps. Like I feel better when I'm doing 8 to 10 reps of a moderate weight. And I just, honestly, instead of just trying to relate to this culture that I enjoyed, at this point, Norse already had its own culture, so I didn't need that outlet anymore. And it was like, all right, well, I really don't fucking enjoy doing this. I feel better doing more bodybuilding type stuff or even strength and conditioning. So I'm just going to fucking do that, and I don't care. So yeah, within 3 months of owning a powerlifting gym, I quit powerlifting. Right. And, you know, at one point I was like 260, 265. Yeah. And then I went camping for like the first time in a while. This was a few years ago, and I couldn't fit. I had like a 1-person tent. I couldn't fit inside the motherfucker. Like it was just, so I was like in the middle of the Georgia wilderness, and I couldn't fit inside this 1-person tent barely because I was such a fat piece of shit. So I was like, all right, well, if I can't even fit inside my sleeping bag. So like something's got to change. So I immediately came home, and I lost like, I think from July to November of that year, going from 260 to like 195. Right. And then it's kind of been like around there since, you know, it has bounced back up to like 210, 215. And then this last go around, I just wanted to see how lean I could get. And I got down to like 170.
Wow.
Yeah. But yeah, like I said, I appreciate powerlifting and all that, but it's just not my thing anymore. But, you know, most of my gyms still are powerlifters, and I still support them and all that good stuff.
Yeah, it's fun. I mean, that energy for that culture. I mean, I've been in a gym like that. You know, I used to be at the Kabuki place and whatever. And that when it first started, it was a dirty gym that had like dudes screaming at each other, and like you know, like you go in on team night, and it's a whole bunch of, it didn't matter what you were doing or whatever. It was a whole bunch of guys like just trying to get their bench up. You know, like, you know, and so it was, and they're cycling through a group of like 10 people getting on the bench and shit like that. And so it was really cool. And it was a lot of like really aggressive energy and stuff like that. But, and that I'm sure that exists in places and that's
oh yeah, it still does. Like I said, even at Norse, it's still there. Like at Norse, say there's 15, 20 people in the gym and they're just doing their own thing, but someone's fixing to max out. And I didn't create this. It just happened. This happened not too long ago. 15 people in the gym and someone went to go max out and every single person stopped what they were doing and they turned around to support this person. And that happens anytime. It doesn't matter who you are. If you're in there and you're fixing to max out, everyone will stop what they're doing. They turn around and they're there to encourage you. Or, we'll have events with like 150 to 200 people slammed inside this 2,500 square foot room. And it's just like, it's unreal, like just the energy itself. So yeah, it's still there, but honestly, I'm going to say it's because of Instagram and Facebook that culture has died out.
Right.
And I'm not going to drop any names, but there's certain people in the powerlifting world that they just, I'll go and fucking say, like Mark Bell. So, that dude, I feel like he's one of the people that's completely created this new culture and he has such an influence on people. Mm-hmm. But that's not Mark Bell's thing, like the aggression and all that stuff. I never really watch that much of his stuff, but it's not the same as it used to be. And I think people kind of just like, because of social media and all that stuff, they just kind of got accumulated to this new idea of powerlifting. And yeah, so kind of the aggression part of it seems to be dying out pretty rapidly because of that.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's a lot of like mixed gyms too. I mean, there's a certain guy energy that you have when a whole bunch of dudes are screaming that like, if it's all mixed, it kind of, that dissipates into a different thing to a certain extent.
Yeah. Yeah, that for sure.
And so that is what it is. And also obviously, yeah, I mean, Instagram and all that, because in real, to be fair to all those guys, because all of them do it at this point, it's they, that's how they get their sponsorships if they have any, or that's how you get to the top of the game, like that.
And it goes back, a lot of it's like we were talking about with bodybuilding, that's their life. And a lot of those people, that powerlifting is their life. And that's awesome. That's amazing. They have a purpose and it's a really good purpose because it's allowing them to like work towards their full potential. So I support that no matter what. But once again, it consumes their entire life and they can't really work because they have to train all the time and all this stuff. So yeah, sponsorships are the only way to do it. So it makes sense. But you also have, like me and you, like you just said, I don't ever post my workout videos. I don't either. You have a lot of people with like 20 followers that post every single thing that they do in the gym.
Right.
Because they're just looking for validation. It's no longer like a personal development type thing because once again, because of social media, I feel like a lot of people do it just, look at me, I lift.
Oh yeah, it becomes a joke because it's clearly like their first week. It's like that's what I said. Like who needs to see that? I mean, it's great that you're doing it, but it's not necessarily. We don't need to see like your first 15-pound dumbbell curl.
That or like the accessories and stuff like that. But either way, if that's what someone needs in order to work out and to improve themselves, then I'm not going to bash it. Like it just like I'm good with it. But at the same time, I'll even use my gym as an example. And so we reopened, I guess, illegally about a month or two ago. And I was like, all right, don't post anything on social media because we're not supposed to be fucking open.
Right. Yeah.
And within like a week, numerous people were posting. And like, you guys just can't fucking help yourself, can you? Like, you've lost the complete idea, like the whole purpose in lifting for yourself. You just have to let the world know that you're fucking doing something.
Yeah.
That you're lifting weights. Like you lose sight of the actual goal, which is yourself.
Right.
And you get so focused on those likes and the validation from other people. And I don't know. It's fucking whatever. Yeah.
It's a double-edged sword for everybody. It's definitely. But yeah, I mean, that's definitely become a thing. I think in bigger commercial gyms. And yeah, it has been a challenge for a lot of people because of the people being closed technically.
Yeah.
Whatever. I mean, I may be going to a place right now that's not technically open, so I can't really show what I'm doing, but it's that's just kind of a new part of the culture, and I think a lot of things are switching to home gyms.
Which I don't know how that's going to work out, man, because a lot of people, they need that community aspect. And it's kind of like with work, it's harder to went to like a specific place. So if you have like an office and all you do in that office is work, you walk in there, you have a routine, you sit down, you got your coffee, you put on some headphones, you knock out some work, you're solid. Your home is a different atmosphere. Your home is where you go to relax and stuff. So a lot of people, they have issues with that. And that's why a lot of home gyms don't work, is because you have different mental triggers that aren't available at home. So
totally.
Yeah, it's just like they might do some workouts, but it's not going to be to the effort that they would have done in a usual gym, because you walk into a gym, you're there for one specific reason.
Exactly.
When you walk into your home, you're there for a different reason. So I think there's going to be a lot of issues with that, with people not being able to stick or really maximize their time with working out, because it's just those mental triggers that they really don't recognize or have control over.
Oh yeah, it's hard on both those fronts, because I wish I had an office that was not in my house, because I could just go to work and I write all day and then that would be great. But no, it's like well, dogs need to go out and
there's distractions, right? Yeah. There's all these distractions, and especially for a rider, I'm sure.
Yeah.
If you're on a fucking roll, but then all of a sudden you have to stop what you're doing because, like you said, your dog's got to go out or something. It's like, fuck, there goes.
Yeah, I want to be in a zone. Like, no one talk to me for like 8 hours. That would be awesome. But I mean, you rent a separate space for that is a whole different deal. And I have the same thing. I actually have a home gym, which I was really grateful for when all the shit went down, because I was like, I do have enough stuff. It's not what I want. It's not as much stuff as I want, but I mean, it's enough stuff to get some stuff done, and maintain. So, but yeah, I mean, it's definitely hard for me to get excited about coming out here, even if I'm just going to the dungeon gym in town, which is like, it's not like a scene, but
there's those mental triggers. Like, you walk into that gym, and you walk into that gym, and you're there for one particular purpose.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, and I think people, they just don't realize that, but like triggers it's crucial. We have triggers for everything. So yeah, the home gym thing is cool. Like, especially if it gets people like out of Gold's Gym and shit like that. Like, but, and also having like your own little sanctuary, like that's awesome. I think it's just going to be challenging for people to really be able to stick with it. We had a lot of people that made home gyms, and they just couldn't, the intensity of their workouts just weren't there because they were used to Norse. And then they go to their home gym and they're like, I just can't do it. Like,
you're not going to have, I mean, the thing that you described of like everybody in the room stopping because you're going to PR.
That's not going to happen.
That doesn't happen in your house.
Then your dog's going to get in the fucking way, or your deadlift or something, like whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see where things go with everything, even with business. I can definitely see a transition with how a lot of businesses are running now, and they're being forced to adapt, which I think is really good. We've been in this stage for, I don't know, we'll say 50 years or so, of just like the multiple people slammed inside cubicles and stuff like that. And it's really not cost effective for the businesses. It's just that that's always how it's been. They haven't been forced to change that method. But if you can actually be a structured person and get a routine and stuff down, you get more work done at home, and there's also less overhead costs for these businesses. So yeah, whenever things open back up eventually or whatever, I think there's going to be a huge shift in how we, I guess, run businesses as a like country and really all across the world. There's like the we've had different phases. You had the industrial phase.
Yeah.
And that was pretty much just like, we're going to fucking run all of you into the ground, and then you're going to die, and we'll throw you into, I don't know, some pit and get someone else and whatever. And then we transitioned to, I guess, this corporation type thing that we got going on. But now, because of COVID, we're seeing a whole new thing happening. So I'm interested to see where that goes as far as business. I think a lot of
like ghost town corporate parks or whatever. I mean, I've done that, worked in those places. And there's just big places full of cubicles and shit, and there's nothing else.
There's distractions everywhere.
Yeah.
So you got people always coming up to you, asking you for shit, or just trying to talk and waste time and all that stuff. But yeah, if people can actually be structured, they could get more stuff done at home.
Yeah,
maybe. We'll see. I don't know.
That's the challenge with working out and with work. It's how to manage that. I mean, the hard ass dude is going to be like, well, you should just discipline yourself to, and that's really the right answer. But like, it is a little bit of a challenge. Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Sure.
So you've been, I know a big part of what you do in promoting your brand, but also I think just probably from, at least from what you post, if you're Insanity, you travel a lot.
Yeah, that's my outlet, man. That's the only way I can get clarity. So I think it's kind of we were talking about with triggers and stuff. It's like a psychology thing
Mhm.
that I don't know shit about. But whenever I'm home, even home or at the gym or even in my town, I'm just always thinking about work. I'm
Mhm.
always like I feel like I'm always just working. As soon as I get on an airplane, it's like a million pounds is lifted off my shoulders.
Mm.
I just like I can breathe. And that's been really rough, honestly, for the past 6 months or however long this whole COVID thing's been going on. I haven't had a way to release all this shit inside my head. And honestly, I went to Idaho and Oregon last week or this week, I don't know. But either way, I was out there, and dude, as soon as I got on that plane, I haven't felt that good in I don't know how long. It's just I have to travel. I have to get out of my current environment in order to really think and to clear my head, because otherwise I just don't really know how. And that's probably something I should work on. But yeah, no, traveling is I've always been like that though. I have to travel. And if I don't, then I lose my goddamn mind.
Right. So you're saying basically like, I mean, that's the thing of, owning your own business in a way. You're kind of always working.
Yeah, unfortunately, I've
Yeah.
learned over the past year only because of my kid, I've learned how to turn it off for the most part.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, there's honestly like even at night, like there's been nights where I can't sleep because I'm thinking of marketing ideas. Like it's just which I enjoy, but at the same time, it's like I literally can't. I have insomnia because I'm thinking about marketing. Like it's dumb. But the whole reason I own a business though is for freedom. I
Mhm.
don't give a shit about anything else at all. As long as I have the freedom to do whatever I want without someone telling me what to do, I'm good. Like I don't really give a shit about the money aspect. The purpose, that's an extra benefit as well. Like having a purpose and helping people. I
Yeah.
feel better when I help other individuals. Like if I'm having a shitty day, I'll just go out and I'll find some way to help someone and I immediately feel better. So with Norse, that's a huge benefit. But even if Norse wasn't a thing, I'm sure I would be self-employed just because I can't work for other people. I never have been able to. Like I don't know if it's a respect thing or what, but either if it was restaurants or retail or past jobs, I don't like anyone telling me what to do. I just don't like it. Yeah, so being self-employed allows me to have freedom to do whatever I want, and that's that's like the main drive behind it. And honestly, so I've been self-employed for I guess 4 years now, and that will always be my driving force. Is I don't ever want to go work for someone else again.
Yeah. It sounds
Like,
horrible. Yeah.
yeah, no, yeah. I mean, you've been how long have you been self-employed?
I don't know the exact years, but it's
A
been a while.
while.
It's been a
Yeah.
while, maybe like 6 years. I'm going to say
Okay.
something like that. Yeah.
And now you can't go back. There's no way you could go back.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, can't I just sell some T-shirts or something? Like,
I will. I have about 30 ideas. So if for some reason, which we could probably see, I could see happening in the near future, if for some reason Norse is just like outlawed,
right.
um, I have backup plans. Like, okay, well, if this goes under, I know exactly what I'm going to do in order to pay my bills and continue living. And what I already have business ideas down the road that I will take action on immediately. And once again, it just goes back to I just want complete freedom, no
Right.
matter what. Yeah, like I'm not willing. I'll sleep in a damn tent at this point. I was actually thinking about that when I was in Idaho camping. I was like, you know what? I don't really give a shit if I lose everything because I'm good with just sleeping in a tent somewhere. Like that sounds better to me than working for someone else.
Yeah, I mean that's a big. I think a lot of people think of getting your business so you can get a bigger house or whatever, and that's I mean I live in a like manufactured house. I mean I'm in my garage right now.
Right.
Like I don't care. I mean
But
I
you're
don't care
happy.
about that stuff.
Right.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
happy.
I mean yeah I don't need really more than this. Sometimes I'd rather pick this up and move it to somewhere else. But like it's I don't need really more than this as a place to live.
No.
Like that's all I'm suited well. But yeah, it's not about that. It's about being able to do cool stuff.
Right. They actually have a life, not
Yeah.
just working 9 to 5 and then wasting your weekends drinking and whatever else. And that's the issue, is everyone, they're so miserable with their existence that they find these other outlets to deal with their existence.
Right.
And I don't like, I mean, I drink every now and then, but yeah, since I've been self-employed, I drink way less than I did before because I'm happy. I don't need anything else. You know, if I drink now, it's like a social thing or just whatever. But yeah, I mean, I go back to like the camping thing and sleeping in a tent. I'm very confident. Like, I try to put myself in that situation. Sometimes it's really uncomfortable situations, but like as kind of like a reminder. It's like if shit got really bad, so say if like I just lose my ass somehow,
Right.
and I lose everything, it's not that big of a deal. You know, like it doesn't really matter. Yeah.
No, I mean, that's a good way to look at it. I mean, because
Yeah.
that's with business. They always say that that's kind of how things are. I mean, you have to take big risks, and then maybe they don't
Well,
work.
that's why business isn't for everybody. It's
Yeah,
fucking scary, dude. Like, I remember the first time I had to place an order for, like, I guess we'll say it's like the first round of those 3 designs I was talking about.
Mhm.
You know, when I got them all printed at once, it's like 30 of each, but still it was like a couple $100. I'm like, oh my God, what if I don't sell these shirts? Like, I was freaking out. And then I remember my first $1,000 order and I almost puked. And now it's to the point, because of the accessories and stuff, Norse's having to do like $20,000 to $30,000 orders. And it's just, I guess you get a tolerance to it over time. But yeah, once upon a time, it was like $100. I'm like, oh my God, like this could be the end of the world. And now it's 20,000. It's like, yeah, that's a huge deal. But I think it's just a confidence thing now. It's like, well, even if this goes under, I know I can figure out some way to overcome it.
Yeah, it definitely starts to. It's like anything else. You train yourself. I mean, people always ask me like, "How do I become more courageous?" And I was like, "Well, you just keep doing things that you're
Fucking do it. You build confidence. It's just
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Yeah, I mean, I went through the same thing that you did. I mean, the first time I had books and everything that were covering a lot of stuff, but then I was like, I sold patches. It's like, like a $200 or $300 order. I was like, I don't know if this is how is this going to work?
yeah, like
And all of a
you
sudden,
don't know.
I'm like ordering stuff from China and like whatever through Alibaba, and like, this should be fine. I don't think I've never gotten up to that $20,000 level, but for a while I was running about that much on a credit card, like running to run the business.
Right.
Like that was, like I was running everything off of a credit card for a
And it
while.
can still, I mean, it can still be nerve wracking sometimes. And there's been times when I get in a lot of product, say like 1,000 knee sleeves, and they're completely not how they're supposed to be.
Yeah.
And then there's the person's like, they don't want to take responsibility for it. So I'm like, I'm stuck with this product. And that has happened so many times because my face is on everything.
Yeah.
And this, like, I'm not going to say it's my identity, but at the same time, it kind of is. It's a huge part of my life. I'm never going to put out something that if someone walks up to me and they're like, yeah, I got this product and it's fucking garbage, I don't ever want to be in that position.
Right.
So, I mean, there's been plenty of times where I just got to throw away a shit ton of product and I lose my ass on it because I'm not willing to put out something that is under a certain standard.
Yeah. Yeah. We've been using a round of t-shirts at the Waldgang that's what I've been making torches with for like 4
That's what you used for torches when I was out there.
Yeah. I still have a box. They're still going. It's like,
but that's the thing, like I was saying with the faceless corporations and stuff, that's gone because people only want to deal with other individuals now, which I think is a really good thing.
Yeah.
And because of that, we're getting a better quality product across the board, not just fitness or, clothing or anything, but all the way across the board. We're getting a lot better products, except for like on Amazon, but outside of Amazon, where
that's what I was thinking the whole time you said that. I mean, like the Chinese companies that just make up a brand name and then put out some shirts, and
Amazon's such a cool thing, but at the same time, it's like that those companies don't exist and people don't realize that. Like a lot of those companies, it's exactly what you just said. They find a product on Alibaba.com. They smack you don't even have to have the name trademark. You can just throw any name you want on there at all.
Yeah.
They throw it on there and it could be garbage. But so outside of Amazon, you have a better quality product because people's reputation is now on the line. You know?
Well, I bet a lot of actually, I'm sure you've seen a ton of it. there's a bunch of Chinese companies being like, Americans like Vikings, and like then they'll put like shit all over stuff. I saw some Odin sneakers the other day.
Well, I've had this hasn't happened in a while because I think that whole like a scam is done. But like a Teespring, do you remember that shit?
Yeah.
Where it's like the really awful shirts where it's like raise a horn and I can't even fucking think of one. Just the really corny Viking fucking shit. It's like,
oh yeah, Ricky skulls your enemies.
On my side, or drink horn and fuck Valkyries, or whatever the hell this used to say. So, and this is kind of when Norse started to take off, and it was really frustrating because those shirts are so awful and bad. But I was scrolling through social media one day, and this ad pops up for one of these shirts. It's a picture of me. They used a photo of me wearing Norse stuff. It was like me in Norway in between two fjords, and it was a really cool photo. They just took Norse off and they put one of these god awful Teespring Viking shirts on there, and there wasn't anything I could do about it. There wasn't. And then I get infuriated because I look and they got like 300,000 followers, and I'm like, it just reminds me that I hate most people, and I'm just like, God, you motherfuckers, And then I have like friends that are following them, and I'm like, texting them like, what are you doing? Like, like, but yeah, so that happened actually for a while, and then it just kept popping up.
Yeah,
all these different, exactly, these Chinese suppliers or people from India and stuff. They don't even live in the U.S., but exactly what you just said. They said, oh, Vikings is popular right now. Let's go on Fiverr.com and have someone design some really awful thing with some really awful saying on it that we know that 99% of the population is going to get into for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And we'll just steal Norse's photos. You've seen them. Like I can't even think of examples now, but they're really awful.
Yeah, they get worse. Well, because there's Eilshammer face masks now. They have all those.
Yeah,
they're like they put those out right away. Like
that's
ready to go.
Yeah, it's just that was a thing there for a while, like a year straight. I would just be scrolling through Instagram, and they were all different companies. It wasn't even just one.
Mm-hmm.
They would take photos of me or take photos of my athletes. They would just do a really terrible job removing the Photoshop.
Yeah.
Norse Fitness. They put their really shitty thing on there. I'm just like, all right. Or they would just take my designs, trace over them, make a really terrible version of my exact design, and then sell that.
Yeah.
So this went on for like a year straight, and there wasn't shit I could do about it. Of course, Facebook didn't care because they're paying for ads.
Sure.
And I ended up hiring some dude for one that kept doing it over and over again. I ended up hiring some guy to like track this guy down to find out where he lives.
Mm-hmm.
And I just got like so fed up with it that I like found the guy. I sent him his IP address, his location. I was like, I will fly out there and I will fucking kill you if you do not knock this shit off. It actually stopped. So, that was a solution.
Apparently that works.
Yeah. But yeah, so I don't know how we got going down that, but.
No, I mean, it's interesting. I mean, this stuff that happens with all that stuff, it's part of the changing landscape of business and branding and all that stuff. Because, I mean, I actually had an article written about me either by an Asian student or AI. I'm not sure which, because it came up in my Google alerts. It was like, oh, an article was written about me. All right, well, and I braced myself for what bullshit. And then
real quick.
Yeah. And I look at it and I'm like, well, this isn't that bad, but they've pulled the information from a combination of my background, and there was a wrestler like Jack Donovan Foley, I think, in the 50s. And so like, I proposed to America's sweetheart, like the silent movie actress. I forget what her name was.
Yeah.
I mean, it was on the like, and earlier Jack proposed to so and so, but then he decided not to marry her. Like, like this whole like combined things where they just pulled Google things about Jack Donovan, whether it was me or another Jack Donovan, and mixed them into an article.
It's interesting
for like a news aggregator site for like that was based in Asia or something like that. But so I don't know, that stuff's coming. Like there's just going to be more of that shit.
Oh yeah, it probably was just AI. Honestly,
it read like AI. And like it might have been a student that got paid like $1 to do it, or it was AI. You know,
Yeah,
it's very strange.
I'd say so. Yeah, after I said that, I was like, honestly, Amazon does this shit. And there's so many other people, but
Oh
with
yeah,
like if you want to see, but those brands don't last. Like
right,
they won't last. Brands won't last anymore unless there's an identity behind it,
right.
and that's it. And it's so hard to create a brand now because you just make a fucking Instagram page. I mean, honestly, that's all I did. But I already had like a whole idea behind it. I actually had an ideology. I already had like the culture and stuff that I was creating. I knew what I wanted for it. But now you have every person and their mom and whoever else creating businesses on Instagram. And they're like, I'm an entrepreneur. Like, you're not a fucking entrepreneur. But at the same time, like those things come and go. I mean, even in my particular, I guess, theme, like the whole
Oh yeah,
Norse and lifting, I've seen, I think, honestly, I don't know if there were any others, but I think I was one of the first ones that kind of mixed those two together,
mhm.
surprisingly. And there's been a lot since then, but none of them have stuck around.
Yeah. Well, everybody thinks they're gonna start making T-shirts and make a bunch of money,
No, there's a lot of shit into it. Like,
yeah, yeah. It's
uh,
not really exactly how it works. Like
I
they
read,
mapped it out.
I read at least 4 to 8 books a month on business. Like,
Hmm.
I'm constantly learning about this shit. Like, whenever I had to learn Facebook ads and marketing, because I realized, like, all right, well, if I really want this to grow, at this point, I decided to be self-employed. I'm like, well, this thing has to get larger in order for me to survive. I'm like, well, I need to learn marketing. I pretty much just trapped myself in my house for 7 months, and I just was slamming my head through a wall learning marketing and Facebook ads and stuff like that. And these people aren't willing to do that.
Yeah.
But once again, they don't have an underlying, their values are fucked. They don't actually know why they're doing it or anything. I want freedom. No matter what, I want freedom. I also want to help people, and those are my two important things. So I'm willing to sacrifice all this time and learn as much as I need to in order to make those two things happen. Instead of just waking up, I don't know, sitting around your couch like, let's start a business.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it
For no
sounds like
reason.
fun for a minute, but it's a lot. There's a lot going into it, and
Yeah, I didn't realize that.
I
And
always I always feel the same way with stuff. I'm like, I don't really worry about people ripping me off because like I don't know what I'm going to do next year. Like how are you going to
yeah.
rip me off? Like because like my brand is me, and I'm like I'm it's going to be whatever I come up with next.
Right.
So it's like you don't have to worry about stuff like we both said, like like oh someone's using a picture of me or someone's like using my exact design idea or whatever. But over time, yeah, that won't last because they don't have
Yeah,
any of the other stuff with it. They don't have the background, and they don't have.
exactly.
They're not really invested in the
And
system.
I started getting to the same point. Like I said, I got the whole them using my photos and stuff. That was super irritating. I just got to the point where I was like, I don't fucking care. Like it just doesn't matter. And then now it's gotten to the point though, since Norse has grown a considerable amount, I don't have to do anything. People like my customers and stuff just automatically like just give these people so much hell
Yeah,
that they just give up. Like that has happened numerous times. I just don't even pay attention to it. Honestly, I don't spend a lot of time on social media at all. I just
Mhm.
look at it as business media and I get the hell off of it. But yeah, I mean, there's been numerous times where someone will completely rip off one of our things or even just follow a similar theme. And they'll get attacked by like 20 to 50 of my customers, just like burning them at the stake. Like, how dare you? Like, we'll fucking kill you. Like, it's just insane stuff. So now, it's like you said, it's not going to last. It has no meaning. I'm not worried about it. I just don't care anymore.
yeah. I actually had a thing happen when Art 15. Matt. I'm forgetting his
Yeah, Matt Best, right? That's his
Yeah, Matt
name.
Best. Yeah, Art 15 came
Yeah.
Violence is Golden t-shirt. And yeah, the comments like blew up in his shit. And I was mad for a second. And I was like, hold on. That's kind of a cool dude. Uh, and then comments blew up like, you thief, da 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 da, you're stealing Jack Donovan's stuff. And I'm like,
You have to
and
do anything.
I had to have a sidebar with Matt Best. Like we had to he's like, are we cool? I'll pull the t-shirts, dude. Like he was pretty cool about it. He's like, like this was a separate thing. It wasn't related to your stuff, whatever. We just came up with it. And I was like, no, dude, we're cool. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. But it's funny though, is like honestly, you have a little personal army
Yeah,
that will stand up for you. But that's how you know you're doing something right.
exactly.
That's how you know you're actually providing value to the world. And that's how you know you're actually helping people, because these people feel indebted to you to actually like stand up for you and do that.
Yeah,
So that means that you're actually having an impact, which I mean, at the end of the day, that's really all that matters.
exactly. And and they see you working. They see that you're doing stuff and putting stuff out and constantly and whatever, and so like they're interested in what you're doing.
Yeah.
And they want to see it continue, so they don't want to see you get like blown out
Yeah.
of the marketplace by like whatever.
Yeah.
Because that was big, was like, it's like those guys have so much money, I can't compete with that.
And that does happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, well, I'm just gonna forget I saw this and hopefully it goes away.
Yeah. You just
Can't
gotta,
compete with someone that's gonna keep doing my thing. But that's how it's gotten, honestly. Like I used to be really competitive
Mhm.
and really just kind of go out on a way to research competitors and stuff. And it's gotten to the point really the past year or two where I just don't give a shit what anyone else is doing at all. Like I don't keep up with, even in the lifting world, especially in the fitness world, I couldn't tell you a single thing that's going on in the fitness world. It's not that I don't care about it, but it's gotten to the point now where it's like you said, like we were talking earlier, I have my world.
right.
And anything outside of that world does not fucking matter to me. I don't care. Like, even with politics, even with this COVID shit, the only reason I gave a shit about COVID is because they forced my gym to close. But if it wasn't for that,
And actually, we talked about it right when it fucking happened, because you got hammered at the Arnold, right? Because they closed.
Yeah. So I
were
actually
sitting at the Arnold and like, what?
I got screwed really before everyone else did. So that was nice. And it just hasn't stopped, like 6 months of just this shit. But even I was never worried about it, like, and I guess I maybe should have been.
Right.
My staff and stuff, they were kind of worried about it. My gym members were worried about it. And the entire time, even with the Arnold thing, I just laughed. I mean, that sucked. Like that was awful. Like the day before, like I had flew my buddy Runar and his wife over from Iceland. They had just landed in New York, and I was like, "Hey man, it's canceled." And he's like, "Well, we're here." I had, I don't know, probably $20,000 worth of merchandise, $20,000 worth of merchandise sitting in Columbus. I don't live in Columbus, so I had to go up there either way to get this stuff. I had a lot of money into the booth, and they were not giving us any answers if we were going to get any money back for the booth. Then, of course, like the Airbnb and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, that was bad. But even then, I don't know if you saw it or not, but within 12 hours, I already had like some video made that was just absolutely ridiculous, making light of the situation.
Yeah, I think I actually watched that. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I've never done anything like that, but I was like, well, like we might as well make the best of this situation. And honestly, we sold out all of our Arnold merchandise within, I think, like 5 hours or something. So it ended up like working out fine. And I was actually kind of, I'm not gonna say relieved, but we just hung out. I was actually just able to hang out at the Arnold. Like I somehow, some of my gym members, they were competing. And at the time, if you weren't a competitor and you weren't a coach, you weren't allowed to go into it. So as two of my gym members were signing up for their powerlifting competition, one of them grabbed like 20 of these wristbands and just bailed with them. So I actually wasn't, even though I had paid for this booth and all this stuff, and I was there, and I even asked them, like, hey, can I just go inside? Like, I have people competing, I have athletes and stuff. I just want to watch them. Like, no, you're not allowed to come inside. But we were able to get wristbands because, yeah, they just stole like 20 of them and ran off with them. And yeah, it worked out. So it was kind of nice, like just actually being able to watch my athletes compete. Because we had some from all across the world like competing there. So it was really cool just kind of hang out and watch them and honestly see it from a different perspective than all the previous years. But yeah, so as soon as the Arnold got canceled, then the gym got shut down, and then I wasn't able to get inventory because, say, like my screen printer in Pennsylvania, he got shut down.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it kind of seemed like the world. I was like, well, this is it. But I was never worried about it. Like there was numerous times where I just started laughing, like, well, let's just fucking see what happens. Like, like my staff were having mental breakdowns and stuff, and I just didn't care.
Yeah, but I mean that's the whole way it works, right? I mean, that's a kind of a good story, the way you turned it around. You still end up selling out all your merchandise you had there, and then just okay, this is what's happening now. Next thing,
Yeah, and I mean, I think we were the fastest. I mean, there's probably 300 people that were at that. And we were probably the fastest to turn that situation around. The ads running, inventory selling. I didn't even have the inventory. It was still in Columbus, but I went ahead, like I just didn't skip a beat. But then, like a week later, all of a sudden people are doing the same thing. And I'm like, why was this not done earlier? Like
Right.
this, you have an issue, fix the fucking issue real quick. But anyways, yeah, it's been a mess this whole time, but that's whatever.
Yeah, I mean, but that's what people have to do. I mean, there's people who are gonna figure it out in the stuff that's happened and whatever, and there's people who aren't.
Well, that's what I was saying earlier, the adapting process.
Right.
And that's where, even with like just people in general, not even business related or anything like that, people aren't able to adapt. It's not even that bad. Like, let's think about it. 100 years ago or whatever, we had the Great Depression. People were living inside fucking boxes. Like,
Yeah.
suicide was through the roof. Like, it was bad, And then
we're not there yet. It might be that might be 2022, but
we were closed down for 2 weeks, and people were like, "This is the worst thing in the world." I'm like, "Are you guys fucking serious?" Like, you still have a cell phone, you still have internet, you still have food. Like, what are you talking about? This could be so much worse.
Yeah.
But it's because they weren't able to see it from a different perspective, and they weren't able to adapt to it. I think like I said, I lost. I don't know if So actually, it was like the day after the Arnold. I was like, all right, well, I'm going to get down to like single digit body fat. I'm the only person that I know of that didn't gain a fuck ton of weight during COVID. Yeah, like everyone around here, or even people at my gym, like they all gained a bunch of weight. They stopped working out, and everyone I talked to, they're like, yeah, COVID just gained a bunch of weight. I'm like, why? Like, it's just excuses, but they weren't willing to adapt, and it wasn't even adapting to something crazy. It's just like, hey, we can't go out as much anymore.
Yeah, I mean, it's like anything. I mean, I say when I broke my ankle, I guess you're gonna have to work on your bench. Like that's.
But a lot of people, they would have taken just this victim approach to it and used it as a situation to just become completely worthless.
Yeah.
They'd be like, "Oh, I broke my ankle. It means I ain't doing shit for the next 6 months or whatever."
I'm getting drunk.
Yeah, I'm getting drunk, and then it's like what you just said. Well, let's work on my bench.
Yeah,
it's just adapting, but I think it's something in like the human brain. Actually, I know it's something in the human brain because we always resort to comfort unless we force ourselves not to. But yeah, it's like at any point, our brain's going to tell us, they're going to try to convince us not to do shit that we don't want to do. So at any time when it's like life's a little more difficult, like, well, there's no other option. We just got to give up right now.
Yeah.
Not that. Yeah, you don't have to. Like, it's not that big of a deal.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, that's like the main thing I've seen during this whole, especially during the past 6 months, just the whole victim mentality shit. Like everyone, and then on top of that, everyone's just depressed and miserable because their worlds have been turned upside down. They're not able to do their daily routine and have these outlets I was talking about earlier. It's like my life sucks, so I'm going to go out to the bar and get drunk or whatever. And that's what we do every week. They weren't able to do that, so they kind of just had to like deal with their miserable existence. And now that's why you get on social media and it's just nothing but straight negativity non-stop. And it's because we just have an entire country full of just miserable people, and they want to make everyone else miserable. And they don't even realize that they're doing it. Like at one point on social media, it was just like post pictures of your dog or some shit. Like it was like, it was all positive for the most part. And now it's nothing but just negativity. You can't find shit on there without it. And it's everyone. Even those positive people I used to know, they've resorted to this shit. Like we're constantly looking for new reasons to be pissed off.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's an addiction. I was pretty good at not doing it for a long time. And I mean, I went into a little hole with it, and you just have to figure out what you're going to do with it.
You handled it really well. Like right? I think you had to.
Yeah.
You had people that were looking to you, and so did I.
I had to stay solar. Like I can't be the one bitching every day. I mean, I got busted, maybe making a lot of comments on the governor's, Facebook page or, stuff like that. But, I had a minute, but you have to figure out what the next thing is.
You snap out of it.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and it's okay to be passionate about something. Like,
Yeah,
you have to be passionate about something. That's awesome. And if it's an actual issue that you're passionate about or whatever, then cool. But whenever it's literally every single week, there's a new thing to be pissed off about.
oh yeah.
The same people jumping on these doing it. It's like, all right, guys, honestly, just get the fuck off social media and
Yeah.
chill for a minute. Like you're turning into a really shitty person by falling into all this.
Yeah, and like you said, it's happening to everybody across the board. It's happening to like the guy I live with. He said he was talking to his dad recently, and like when he went to visit his dad was like a zombie, like from watching CNN. Like,
Yeah.
just he's like 80 some years old. He's just like, like just constantly in a state of like panic.
And
but
that's
he's in his
everyone,
house.
right?
Yeah,
Everyone,
yeah,
the world is coming apart. Like, I don't watch the news. I don't
Yeah.
deal with any of that shit. Like I said, if it's outside my world, I just don't give a fuck.
right.
But everyone else is shoved in their face constantly. So yeah, I can definitely see how people think that the world's ending and that everything's so bad, but they're not actually taking a step back to detach and be like, honestly, my life's just about the same. It's not as bad as CNN or whatever the hell's being posted on Instagram.
Right.
It's just not that bad. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely manufactured panic.
Oh yeah, and it comes from all sides. I mean, like I had a buddy that I was talking to yesterday. We had a good talk with him because he was just plugging into like a hate stream, like, and there are hate streams coming from every direction. Like all kinds of different ones. He was plugging into a hate stream, and like it was making him an angry person. Like it was making him an angry person, and like take him down a dark road.
Right.
And it's like that's. If you're just listening to that one hate stream for forever, that's your whole reality now.
But that's the thing. People have a made up reality.
Yeah.
It's a manufactured reality that doesn't really exist right now. Like, things are shitty right now. They're probably not going to get better anytime soon.
Right.
But it's not as bad as people think it is. Like, they're just not able to detach and look at the situation differently.
And really, that's the whatever panic response. It's it's fight or flight, or like I guess they're in flight. Yeah. I mean,
there's no way for them to bring themselves back down to actually view shit differently.
Yeah,
and it's because they spend all day on this fucking thing.
Yeah,
and they're just it's like you said, they're just in like a zone. It's constant.
Yeah, and if things are going to get worse, honestly, it's going to be the attitude that like we just talked about. The people who are like, okay, this is what's happening, and here's how I'm going to adapt to it. Or, just the people who are like in an emergency will just hide. Like that's what we're seeing.
Unfortunately, that's most people.
Yeah.
And that's the unfortunate part of it, is that that's 99.9% of the population. And unfortunately, I just don't think they have anything. They don't have any control over it. They don't realize what's going on. The only reason I didn't get sucked into it probably is because, like I said, I just don't have any use for any of that stuff. But back in like my early 20s and stuff, I was more like, I guess, political, maybe. I don't know. I wasn't like really dead set on it, but I did have like, I'd listen to like Fox News or even like CNN, and I want to stay up to date on what's going on. And I started to realize I was becoming a really angry fucking person, like you just said with your friend. I'm like, I can't control any of this shit. Like, why do I care about it? Like, this doesn't really impact my life. I mean, it does to a certain extent, but I don't have any control over that.
Yeah.
So and as soon as I cut it off, I just felt way better, and I haven't given a shit since.
Yeah. I mean, I have a little perspective in the sense of just being old. I mean, I remember when America went through this in 9/11. Like I was like 27. Like I was I was a grown up.
Age group. I was in 5th grade when that shit happened.
Yeah, I was a grown up, and I remember like it happened like a day before I was supposed to move. I was supposed to move to LA, and like, do we have to take our money all the bet? What's gonna happen? Like it was a serious. Everybody's like, holy shit.
Yeah.
And America was super not ironic for about like everything was ironic up until then. It was super not ironic for about a year.
Yeah.
Like, are we being attacked? Like, what's going on? And people were just
no one knew,
freaking out. Yeah. And people who were, like hated America 6 months before were waving flags outside their windows like that. It was a very strange time.
Yeah.
So like, we're going through that now. And, I'd like to think that we're going to get back to like some kind of productive, good place. But if things keep getting worse, it'll be the people who adapt who are going to do well, and then the people who can't adapt are going to suck.
Right. And that's nature,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know. Sorry, you froze for a second, but yeah, I mean that's nature. You have the ones that adapt, and those are the ones that thrive, and then the ones that don't, they just remain the same or die or whatever. Like, you know, it's one or the other. But I will be interested to see what happens with everything all the way across the board. I think things are going to go back to pretty much exactly how they were. Like even right now, it's like North Carolina is one of the strictest on everything, and it's really not that different. You know, I have to wear a mask everywhere that I go, and my gym's still technically closed. But other than that, shit's still about the same. People are seeming like they're starting to act normal again as well. I mean, if you look at Europe went on lockdown stuff before we did, and they're like the UK the other day, like, you know, they consume more alcohol, and I think that weekend that they reopen than they usually do in a year. Like, it's just
right.
Everything is, they bounce back pretty quickly, and I think everyone's going to. But yeah, I think everyone just kind of need to detach from the situation and just get a different perspective on what's going on and realize that they do have control over it, and it's really just a mental standpoint.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. People look to stuff like this, and you know, whatever position that we're in, and we're putting out some kind of positive messaging. To people. I get messages all the time when I say stuff like that, because a lot of times the stuff I'm saying is stuff that I need to think about too. Like I got busted myself acting like an idiot. Like I need to be, oh, okay, well, we need to keep an eye on this.
Right.
And then, because it's what they need to keep an eye on too. And so, like, I'll get messages from a lot of people. They'll read something I say or whatever, and then they'll be like, "Oh, good call, good call. I was doing that today." You know, like, and they'll have to reel themselves back in because it is.
That's what I mean. That's what I said earlier. Like, you kind of needed to say something. Like, there was a lot of people looking to you to be like, not necessarily they can't think for themselves, but they wanted your perspective on it because they knew that they would probably align with what you were saying. And it was the same with Norse. I've had people this whole time reaching out to me and stuff, mostly just because like their mental stability's fucked. But I do the same thing with Norse. Anything that I post with Norse, any of the emails I send out, any of the videos I make, that's for me, honestly. Like, you know, if it's mentality or whatever, that's shit that I'm dealing with or had to figure out, and then I just put it out there to maybe help other people. And it's pretty much what you just said with yourself. It's like, well, I realized I was doing this, so I just made other people aware of it as well.
Yeah. Because it's a constant game. I mean, you never reach a stasis of where I'm performing at optimum levels and I'm perfect, and you know, I'm not fucking up at any place. So like, you know, it's a constant battle of keeping yourself in line. You know,
it's good that you're showing that though, because it makes people realize, like, no, he's like, kind of goes back to our beginning of our conversation. People look at you or whoever, and they go, okay, well, they're just a normal person. Like I can rise to that same level potentially.
Right.
It gives them hope. Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, that's
so the fact that you like kind of shows like, yeah, I fucked up.
Yeah.
Like, okay, cool. People want to see that. And that's the same with marketing, with business. If you just go into it like, yeah, this happened numerous times with Norse where I was like, honestly, I fucked up. And it ended up working out really great for me because I was just like, I just took responsibility for it and let everyone know.
Yeah. So just as we kind of wrap up here, what are your, you said you read a ton of stuff on marketing and business. What stuff are you reading or what stuff are you following that I think is driving you forward right now? You think
so? Actually, the past month or so, I've actually kind of switched gears. So I've spent the past 3 to 4 years just hammering away on business nonstop. You know, if I'm in my car, I'm listening to podcasts or audiobooks about business. If I'm at home or at the gym or office or whatever, I'm reading about business. And then I've had a lot of shit personally happen in my life the past 6 months, and the past month or two has just been like, it was awful. So I kind of took a step back. I'm like, honestly, I just need to work on my damn self. So I've kind of switched gears as far as reading material goes. I'm just reading actual shit that could benefit me. But prior, say like business related stuff, if anyone's looking for marketing advice, there's 2 different people that I pretty much only listen to what they put out. And it's this guy named Frank Kern and this dude named Ian Stanley. But both of them have books and stuff out. Ian Stanley has one book. It's like 100 pages, and it is the best business book I've ever read in my life.
Awesome.
Yeah. So, and then that's really about it. Anything that I'll just pretty much I'll go on Amazon, I'll find something, and I pretty much look at related books, and I'll just knock out all those.
Mhm.
Yeah. But if anyone's wanting to learn just about business and marketing in general, I would hit up Ian Stanley or Frank Kern. That's really all you need to know. And like I said, Ian Stanley, he just put out a book. I think you can even get it for free if you just pay for shipping. Just Google it or some shit. But it's like 100 pages, and I've read it like 6 times so far, and it's golden. Like honestly, I didn't have to read anything else. Like it was solid.
Awesome. Well, I'll definitely put that in the show notes.
Yeah. But yeah, it was good, man. I appreciate you having me on. It was awesome.
Yeah. What's do you have anything coming up soon?
Yeah, so Norse has a lot of stuff going out. We're coming out with a new supplement, actually. So it's kind of like a cognitive mood enhancer / energy thing. And I'm really excited for that. It's going to be called Focus. And so it's got the cognitive enhancer like alpha GPC and stuff like that in it. But it's not going to kind of put you on edge like a lot of those cognitive enhancers or pre-workouts or anything like that will do.
Right.
We put a lot of focus into the mood enhancement part, and we're actually using a lot of Germanic herbs that they used back in like fucking 1,000 years ago and shit, which I'm really excited about. But yeah, so this supplement is going to help you focus more, but you also just feel really good the entire time. So if you're working or you're working out or anything for that matter, you're just in a better state of clarity, which is amazing. It's got about 150 milligrams of slow release caffeine that you're not going to crash from or anything, and it's solid. And then on top of that, we have the fall release, which is always huge, and some belts and some new products and stuff like that. But not the pre-workout, the supplement is what I'm most excited about.
Nice.
Yeah,
that sounds cool. So that's all coming out the next few weeks.
Probably next couple months. Yeah, the supplement will come out, and then I've been bouncing around the idea of a book. I don't know about that. I don't know if I'm up for that challenge. Like I feel like I'm gonna have to work on that a lot. But
it's really hard, dude. It's
but it's also like I want to do a book.
Yeah.
Kind of just going over what it's called Norse mentality or whatever.
Right.
But I don't know at what point I'd be like, all right, well, I'm confident enough where I think I could put something like that out. Does that make sense? Like I want to make sure that if I'm going to go write this book, it's going to be, there's no ifs and buts, like it's the time for it.
Right.
So then I've been kind of like putting the idea back and forth just because, on a personal level, I've been dealing with a lot of shit the past 6 months. And I've had to find new ways to adapt. Mm-hmm. And I've been kind of like keeping notes and stuff. So yeah, maybe in the future, like a book would be cool. But as far as Norse goes, it's just really the supplement and our clothing releases and stuff like that. And then we're working on the podcast as well. Forgot about that, but hopefully I can get that going here soon.
Are you gonna have like athletes and stuff on it, or?
Yeah, so I kind of want to go into, I guess, the darker mentality type shit with people. So not if I get athletes on, that's cool, but I don't really want to talk about their PRs and shit like that. I want to talk about like what keeps them driven, like what's the fucked up, because most people that are at a successful level have had really shitty lives.
Yeah,
like they're fighting demons, Like I had a shitty childhood. A lot of people, the reason they're successful is out of like spite, almost. Yeah, so I'd really like to like kind of dig into people of all different backgrounds and be like, all right, like what's your driving force? Like what are you fucking fighting against? Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think that would be cool. And I just want to focus from a mentality type aspect. Like the fitness aspect is cool, but there's so much shit about it everywhere, and it's all basic science. Like you want to build muscle, break it down, eat food, it rebuilds. There you go. That's how you get bigger muscles. You want to lose weight, eat less, move more. There you go. But the mentality aspect, especially with this whole COVID thing, you can really see it. People don't know how to handle themselves.
Right.
So I don't know, that's just a super interesting thing for me to like really dig into.
Yeah. No, that seems like it'd be cool. That's a good way to look at it. Yeah. It's a good frame. So anyway, man, cool. I'll put all that out, and I'll probably throw this out tomorrow. So thanks for coming on. Thanks for coming on the show.
All right, man. I'll talk to you soon.